So today we are going to hear the good news through our own conversations. And we have heard from St. Paul as he's talking to the Philippians about the good work that they have done. But he says, I pray that you can grow in knowledge so that you can decide how to continue to do the good work that you are doing. And so that is what we are going to do here today during this sermon. This sermon time is that our sermon, our spreading of the good news, is for us to be in conversation with one another, to learn from one another. Where are the things that we see? What are the invitations? Where is God calling St. John's to go? What do we want to do as a congregation so that we can do that good work that God has called us to do? But we can't know that on our own. We know that in community. We know that through discernment, through conversation. And so what I'm going to ask and invite you to do is to break up into 4 groups for those of us who are in person. And Miss Sandra is going to take care of you, the Zoom people. And that is why I said we will turn off the recording while these conversations are happening so that you can feel comfortable and that there will be a safe space for you to share what you would like to share. For those of you who hear this afterwards and are listening to the service, I invite you to pray and to think about where is God calling you? What is the invitation God has for you during this time in your life? So, without any further ado, we're going to do it this way.
Okay, I got an earful, and I've been around here 30 years.
Like 1 minute, just a quick summary.
Okay, good things that we do is we're open and welcoming and ready for other people to join with us. Over and over, though, I heard about deep concerns regarding our polarization and also the cost of living in Austin, which surprised me, but I'm glad to have heard that. Finally, the seeming isolation between our Spanish-speaking congregation and the English-speaking congregation. And that's about it.
Miss Faye, you ready?
The group that I was in, for question 1, the things that St. John's does well, the main things that came out repeatedly were the fellowship, the warmth, the welcoming, but also the caring and compassion that's shown by St. John's when people need help, and also service to our community in the way of providing food and different things like that. For question 2, the concerns that people have are paying their bills, health, and the neighborhood concerns about food scarcity and housing and those kinds of things. And the concern is, how does St. John's and how do we individually reach out and try to moderate and do those things? Thank you.
Okay, our group, for what we did well, is that we're small but mighty. We respond when there's a need. We're a community, we're welcoming, we're very kind, we have the best food. And one really interesting one is we had 4 new people in our group who are visiting today. And one of them said that she came because of our website. So kudos to us for our website. And then the concerns were the challenges of immigrants, food insecurity, the lack of children in our English-speaking services, and how do you reach out to people who don't speak our language? Also inflation and just how the cost of food and the cost of housing and everything, gas, everything is going up and up and up. And how if that's a struggle for middle-class folks like me, What must that be like for people who are closer to the margins? And then another concern was adult children who are all spread out and not going to church anymore, even though they were raised in the church. How do we appeal, kind of an overall theme was how do we appeal to younger people?
Thank you, Lisa.
We always have. I've been here since '87, and I find that to be true. Concerns, more children, outreach to the community, homelessness, and to continue this type of discussion so that we can move this process forward.
Thank you all very much for putting together this sermon together with us. St. Paul said, I pray that you will learn, that you will grow in knowledge, so that you can continue to do the good work that you have begun. We have heard of people talking that have been here for 30 years, and this has been a place where people have felt it be a sanctuary for them, a family where people are taken care of and cared for. How do we build from that to continue that love and caring and sanctuary, not just for the people who come into the sanctuary, but to those who live around us, and to spread the good news and do the good work that we are called to do. So this is the beginning, this is not the end. We will have more conversations. The goal is to then, on January, our annual meeting in January, to have our agenda of issues. What are our priorities? What do we want to focus on for 2022, and who will be part of that team to get that done? Again, I want to thank Monique Vasquez from Central Texas Interfaith. She'll be working with us to really help us put these things, these ideas into actions. One of the things that we heard at the 9 o'clock service is this feeling of a lot of energy without direction. And so what we are hoping to do through these conversations is to get clarity about what that direction will be. And that is the goal. So we'll have conversations between now and the end of, before the annual meeting. We will continue to have conversations, but by the end of January, have a pretty good sense about where we want to, what we want to work on and focus on. Amen.
Amen.